Hello, my name is John, and in this episode I'm going to be talking about these mini Major League Baseball ice cream sundae helmets. These are really cool. My brother and I actually would intentionally go to Dairy Queen in the 80s and 90s just to collect every single team. At one point we had every team. I think I'm missing a few teams. But we also had a really cool cardboard display where we put them on the display. Over the years that's gotten destroyed. I don't even know where that is, but we still have these mini helmets. Up front I have these teeny mini helmets. I have no idea where we got those. I want to say we got those with gumballs back in the day, gumball machines. So let's take a closer look at each helmet because it's really cool because a lot of logos have changed over the years from current logo to back in the day. So let's take a closer look. So here they are. I got the mini helmets kind of categorized by division, and I got the National League up front. I got the American League in the back. Some of these you'll see have kind of changed the logos over the years. Some of them have stayed the same in classic. It kind of depends on the team. You get the mini. These are really tiny. I think these came with gumballs, as I mentioned before. It's old school Pirates. We're going to start with the Pirates here. You got the home and away. Get the old school. All right. Montreal Expos. I really liked their logo. It's an M, but I always thought it was an ELB, but it's an M as in Montreal. They moved to the Washington Nationals. It became the Washington Nationals. Got the New York Mets. It's been classic, hasn't changed. Philadelphia Phillies. The maroon colors. I actually prefer this over their current logo and the current colors. Braves have stayed the same. You got the old school San Diego Padres with the brown, and you got the more modern one. I think I picked this up at the World Series when they were there at the stadium. It was before they had Petco Park though. And then this is the brown one. It's cool. Got the old school D-backs, the purple. I picked that up at the World Series as well, the D-backs World Series. San Francisco Giants hasn't changed over the years. Los Angeles Dodgers hasn't changed over the years either. It's been the same. Boston Red Sox right here. It's been the same. Here's the old school Baltimore Orioles. I always thought this guy was a gorilla for some reason. It's actually an Oriole, obviously, but growing up, he looked more like a gorilla to me. Really cool. That's back in the Cal Ripken 1980s era. And Cal Ripken was there, obviously, through the 90s, too. The old school Toronto Blue Jays. I prefer this logo to their current one. You got the Yankees. This hasn't changed. These are the Indian ones. Cleveland Indians. That's cool. And they even changed, I think, I had a new one last year. Okay. Here is the Twins, Minnesota Twins, home and away. And Kansas City Royals hasn't changed. When you eat these, you basically would put ice cream in here, and you'd put a sundae, and obviously you'd keep the helmet. Detroit Tigers hasn't changed. Here's a White Sox. Look how old school that is. Got a number of Mariners ones. This is the earlier 80s Mariners with the Trident and the Star. You have the Griffey one. This is when like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. That was only around for a few years. That's when Griffey was a rookie year. He wore that, Ken Griffey Jr. That's more modern day. Got that at the stadium there. I've been to probably 12 different stadiums, baseball stadiums. My goal is to go to all 30 someday. Here is the Angels, old school Angels. They're all the same. You'll notice the color a little bit darker in this one. Texas Rangers. Got the A's, Athletics, Oakland Athletics. One of my favorite logos, the Milwaukee Brewers. You get the Mint, the B and M, Milwaukee Brewers. They shouldn't have gotten rid of that. They still use it on occasion. But the Cincinnati Reds, it hasn't changed. The Cubs hasn't changed. Here are the Houston Astros. That's definitely changed. And last but not least, you can't forget about the St. Louis Cardinals. They won the World Series last year. So pretty cool. Definitely like these mini helmets. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon. You take care. Bye.